Hey everyone, I hope you're well. I'm a little bit behind at the moment, but I hope everyone enjoyed watching or participating or being a part somehow of EVO 2022. As pretty much anyone who's been following the Tekken scene will probably know by now, there was a bit of an update at the end of it. So by my current time, about 12 hours ago. So that's how far behind I am. Um, I'm not doing one of those, what do you call them, I'm not doing a video where it's my first time watching it. I've already seen the video, but I thought I'd just run through it and just give my interpretation on a few different parts of it. So, yes, we'll press play. So that was a cool update, just showing things with the Tekken World Tour and all the hype around the world. It is nice to see offlines again. I'm sure I'm not the only one to think that. I wish I could travel and participate more, but of course that's not possible for everyone, and that's fine. I enjoy the scene I'm in when I get to play here. Anyway, now we have the Tekken 7 battle update, so here's where I'm going to slow down a lot. So we see balance adjustments, and we see Lars' back 1+2. Looked like it was a counter hit to launch, well, to turn into a tailspin. Then that looked like the second hit of Eddie's down 4-3, giving a counter hit knockdown for free OTG. Then we've got Anna, her down forward 1-2-3. That did not look like a counter hit, it looks like a normal hit launch. So I'm wondering if they're going to make that move more unsafe or what they're going to do. Regardless, that kind of just enforces the idea that even on block, you're stuck guessing a mix-up. Like you either just stay in block and you can punish that, or she has a safe, the high, the down forward 1-2-4. So that's a counter hit launch from Miguel's Savage up forward 3. Counter hit launch from the second hit of Jack's down forward 1-1, which I also don't see the point in that one, I guess, because I don't really know people that challenge after Jack's down forward 1. Like, you're normally either looking to block the down forward 1-1 or duck the down forward 1-2-1-2. If I remember correctly, I think the smartest option was to do like a micro sidestep left in block, and then you'd block that mid option, which you can punish at like -10, and you'd make the second hit whiff of down forward 1-2. Anyway, my thoughts. So I'm sure a lot of Lily mains will be happy with this. It looks like her 4 is now kind of a magic 4, although following the same principles as like Shaheen or Master Raven, where she has to input 4-1 to actually get the float in the launch. So I guess you've got the scaling from your essentially doing a launch into a jab as a requirement, but I'm sure I'm not off to think that after a 4-1 there you probably do the forward 2-3, down forward 3+4, back turn 1-4. So very similar combo to what she does off her hop kick or anything. Yeah, so still probably good damage, but unlike a lot of Magic 4s, she has to commit to a high afterwards, so risky. That looked like a knockdown of, it was Josie's back 3-4, I think. Sorry. Was that just 3-4? That's 3-4, isn't it? Yeah, 3-4 counter hit knockdown, and then Yoshimitsu's forward 1+2 being a counter hit launcher. Only in the sword stance, of course. Then we've got new tactics, and you see Kazuya do his while standing 1+2, relatively new move, and Jin bouncing against the wall and then sort of recoiling and being on the ground, sort of in a kneeling position. And then Kazuya do a down for 1-4, which gives him a wall break. We see we see Lydia's Political Storm do a very similar thing, and once again this time Heihachi recoils against the wall, ends up in that same sort of state, and she does a red tape down that 3-2. So this is definitely implying it's guaranteed, isn't it? So we got a move for each character that does this weird sort of wall stun, followed by Kazi did a 15 frame mid, and Lydia did a 16 frame low. Steve does Peekaboo down forward 1-2, wasn't it? That's what it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Which normally knocks down, but instead it gives a wall stun, and he gets a 16 frame down back 3-2. So that's pretty awesome to see it's going to happen. The Tekken World Tour Finals in Amsterdam and in Feb 4th and 5th 2023. I'm sure we're going to get more information then as well, but that's a fun thing to look forward to, and it'll be very cool to see everyone from all the regions go. My region, it's just based on points, so the one person who has the most points gets to travel, so there's not really much of a qualifier unfortunately, but it is what it is. And then there's the big number, so I think everyone's hyped to know that we're looking 9 days away. Although, yeah, 9 days away, which is roughly the same time as the Netflix series comes out, I believe. So that's a big overload of new stuff at the same time, which is pretty cool, pretty cool.
Get ready.
And that was a very cool way to end it. So I thought the way they transitioned from like Tekken 1 Kazuya to this very new model of Kazuya was very cool, and it looked like it was trying to represent the same thing. But other people have pointed out to me the fact that he's got the red eye, he looks quite old there, so my thoughts of it being a reboot are kind of debunked by that, but it doesn't completely take away from it, does it? Like, it's still possible that they've deliberately got this scene to that scene because it's a reboot, but it's more than likely just the fact that this is Kazuya killing Heihachi, or throwing him off a cliff at least, and then this is straight after the story of Tekken 7, so it's kind of Kazuya's left in the same kind of position of power and everything. Anyway, looks amazing. Not that we know anything about it. Yeah. Okay, so I guess the next thing to talk about is my thoughts on the changes. So any kind of balance patch is always going to be welcome, but I don't know what to think about these new tactics. So, for example, we saw things like Kazuya's while standing 1+2, which is a safe mid, giving that property, and it looked like it gave him a free 15 frame mid off it. We saw Lydia's Political Storm, which has crazy range, giving that free red tape. I mean, I know in some ranges her Political Storm would give her a little wall hit or even a rage art, but you know, that still seems like a pretty strong option. I'm wondering if, yeah, because they're in that sort of crouching state when they get hit. Oh, no, didn't quite get it. Because they're in that kind of crouching state when they get hit. I assume highs aren't going to work. So, like, Lydia's not going to be able to do her forward 2-4 here because that's high mid. Anyway, it starts with a high, and so she won't get a wall splat here. But what does that mean for other characters? So her one's confirmable and gives her that, but that's probably, or gives her red tape, but that's probably the best she gets in that situation. Kazuya's is not a confirmable, but it's still a safe mid, and his gets a wall splat. So it's hard to tell how good these are going to be. And then think of a character like Nina, if she, when she gets hers, is hers also going to be plus 16 as these appear to at least be, but avoiding highs, in which case she could do like a down forward 3, forward 4, which would wall splat, and it would be the kind of wall splat where you can peel them off the wall, so it would be insane damage. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because, I mean, at the moment we don't even know for sure if this is a guaranteed hit afterwards. Although it's pretty misleading if it isn't it? Like, it seems like it will be. So, what kind of moves would Nina have that could possibly get this property? Because, I mean, we have a lot of moves that already give wall splats, right? I wouldn't expect anything that's a wall splat or a launch to give that property. You know, I doubt it'll be something like that. It could be something useless like that, but I doubt it, because that also knocks down. I wouldn't expect it to be any move that knocks down. I wouldn't really expect it to be any move that wall splats either. Like, I think I've heard a few people say maybe Ray Hands, and if it were Ray Hands, that would be a pretty big nerf for Nina, unless it does leave her plus enough to get a free that into wall splat sort of thing. Then it would not really be much of a change. It would just be a damage buff. It would be better if they tried to utilize a move that didn't have a wall splat property, or, you know, just if they tried to utilize another move and give that move more of a purpose. And I guess the first one that comes to mind for most people for Nina is back 1+2. So this is a move that many people regard in this game as being quite useless. So if suddenly you could do that and then you'd get a wall splat, it would make it a bit more useful, wouldn't it? And I mean, this is not the best on block. It's safe, but still not the best on block. So it would be kind of following a similar principle to Kazuya's while standing 1+2, although, yeah, it's really just giving a useless move a purpose. And I get that. Now, that's what makes sense, but I doubt they'll do that. In reality, what do I think they're going to give that move to? I have two thoughts. First off, maybe back 3, 4, because we lost the ball splat from it. A lot of people weren't happy, even though you can still do things like that. It didn't quite work. Even though on some angles you can still get a combo from it at the wall, or you can get a combo for it anywhere on the bears. Yeah, anyway, so this would be a very strong move for them to make the wall stun with. If it still gave its knockback away from the wall, maybe like Steve's peekaboo down forward 1-2, but if it gave that stagger at the wall, it would give it its original wall threat back. So it would kind of return to its previous strength and make people more likely to use this, also make people more likely to try and hit confirm. Now, of course, there is the threat there that maybe if they did make it that strong, they might remove it being hit confirmable, or who knows, they might make it so it doesn't give the reward mid-screen like it does at the moment. But that's okay, because most people claim that the range on it isn't good enough and it's only really useful at the wall, but they don't really use it because they say the reward isn't too great. So I can see that being a good move for them to change. Now, if they're really going overkill with it, they could look at doing forward 3, but I highly doubt that. I highly doubt they do forward 3 as well. It's just one of the only other moves that really stand out that doesn't already wall splat or knock down, that could give some kind of push against the wall property. Now, the problem with giving it to forward 3 is it would possibly mean it also gave it to bank 1-4, and I don't see them doing that, because that would be far too strong. Imagine though, if a character had like a 12 frame that did that wall knockdown and it did give the plus 16, you'd have a character do like a get up mid kick. So if I had them just go, we'd get, oh come on, we'd get that into crazy combos, and it would be death. So that would just be absurd. So I don't really think there's any other move that would really make sense except this, or this if they're really trying to fill the niche. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what move you think they might give that property, the the weird wall stun too for Nina, or any other characters you play, because at the moment we only know it for a couple of characters, and I doubt it's a property they're only giving to one or two characters. I also doubt they'll be introducing new moves, so it's going to be, well, I assume it's going to be a move that already exists, and I mean, from what we've seen, it's not necessarily going to be making a move fit a purpose suddenly, but that may be what they're doing with some of the characters. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think Nina's new wall stun move will be, or what any other characters will be. And also let me know what you think of the update. Are you looking forward to it? And what about the teaser for a new Tekken game? What do you think that's going to be? Be a long time before we find out, I guess. Alright, thanks everyone. Catch you later.